Hey everyone, Thomas Joseph here. Now today we are tackling, you guessed it, chicken wings, and these are oven-baked chicken wings. This is something that you all have requested. So let's get started. All right, so let's get started on these wings. Now, I have 3 pounds of chicken wings here that I'm gonna be using today. And I told you before, we're gonna make 2 really delicious, tasty versions of this recipe. So we're gonna split this batch in half. But this is a combination of those little drumsticks and I guess they're called like wingettes. And what we're gonna do is take some paper towel. You can see I have some down in this rimmed baking sheet. And a really important tip here is to blot off all of the excess moisture that's on the chicken wings before they go into the oven. Again, we want to really replicate the frying process here in baking, so we need to make sure that there's no residual moisture. And in the end, we'll get a really crisp chicken wing with this process. And preheat your oven to 450 degrees. So this is also important, that we're gonna cook these wings at a really high temperature. Now, when you're frying chicken wings, we usually tell you to kind of be in a range, I'll say probably around like 375 degrees in a fryer. And it's a lower temperature than what I just told you for the oven, but the direct heat is slightly different, right? Oil, the wings are completely submerged and being bombarded with heat, where in an oven, there's kind of an ebb and a flow to the heat around the wings or around anything that you're cooking in there. So we wanna go to a really high temperature so that we get all of the wonderful skin on these chicken wings really nice and crispy. And then I'm just gonna actually toss them right onto the sheet pan and season these up with some salt. Be pretty liberal here. Again, we're seasoning 3 pounds of chicken wings, so you need a good amount of salt. So toss the wings together with the salt, and then I'm going to arrange these on a wire rack because we're gonna bake these on the rimmed baking sheet, but on top of it on a wire rack. And what this does is it promotes airflow. So you're gonna have superheated air from the oven kind of around and under your chicken wings, which will give you really nice crisp chicken wings in the end. If you just place these down on your baking sheet, even if you use parchment or something like that, you're gonna get one side that's a little kind of saturated, not necessarily crisp. So this is my tip that I really like to share with everybody, is baking these wings on a wire rack. I like to put the presentation side, I guess you could call it, up. So that looks pretty good. Now I'm just gonna pick this whole thing up, parchment included, right into your rimmed baking sheet, and this goes into that 450 degree oven for 45 minutes. Now it might seem like a long time, but again, we want these to get really nice and crisp. And the thing about chicken wings, which is really nice, even if you do overcook them, and when I say overcook, I mean if you cook them beyond 165 degrees, the meat itself isn't going to dry out because there's so much fat that's protecting these wings, and there's bone as well, which keeps the meat nice and moist. So into the oven, 450 degrees for 45 minutes. All right, the wings are in the oven, so now it's time to make the sauce. Now I mentioned that I'm gonna be making 2 different sauces, so variations on one recipe, right? So we have the baked wings, and also you guys, you can customize these sauces to your taste. Again, it's a formula, you can customize it as you see fit. Now, the first is kind of a twist on honey mustard. And today I'm using maple syrup instead of honey mustard. This is a really great dark Vermont maple syrup. You want to use something that you would pour over your pancakes, something with a lot of flavor, because you really want that to shine through, especially with the sharp mustard that we're going to use in combination with this. So into a large bowl, and I like to use a large bowl because we're going to toss the wings in these bowls. I have 1/4 cup of maple syrup and 3 tablespoons of grainy mustard. Now, if you didn't have grainy mustard, you had whole grain mustard, or you even had like a Dijon mustard, you could certainly use that here as well. 3 tablespoons right into the bowl, and then just using a whisk, mix it together. And then this is just gonna hang out on the side until our wings are done in the oven, right? So there's one sauce down, really easy, right? 2 ingredients. All right, so this second variation here is a twist on the classic buffalo wing sauce. Now, if you guys are interested in trying classic buffalo wings, the fried method, we made a video a few years back, so check it out. And the sauce that you garnish the wings with is a combination of melted butter, we're using the same thing here today, and Frank's Red Hot sauce. It's really kind of key that you make sure to get that specific hot sauce because it has a really particular flavor. And that's what they use at Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York. Side note, that's actually where I grew up. So, melted butter into the bottom of my bowl, and this is 2 tablespoons of melted butter. We use unsalted butter here, and 1/4 cup of sriracha. Now, sriracha is a Thai hot sauce, a Thai condiment that's been really popular here in the United States, and it has a really great flavor, a depth of flavor that really transforms these wings. So I would encourage you, if you haven't tried it before, seek it out and use it. It's a fantastic spicy condiment. So I'm gonna mix these 2 together, and we should be ready now to grab our wings and toss these in the sauce, and then we'll be ready to serve. All right, the wings are out of the oven. You can see that they're nice and golden brown. They're pretty hot right now, so I'm not gonna pick this up with my fingers, but the skin has gotten nice and crisp in the oven. Again, it's that high heat, and the fact that we have them elevated up from the bottom of the pan, which really helps. Now, I'm going to split this batch in half, and I'm gonna do half in the mustard sauce and half in the sriracha sauce. I really just like to swirl them around in the bowl. You can, if you're feeling daring, you can try and toss them around in the bowl. And again, this sauce, the batch of sauce that I made is actually enough to make an entire 3-pound batch of chicken wings. So there's plenty of sauce here that you can actually use and serve alongside the wings if you like. But I really think that the mustard seeds look really nice. They add some interesting, appeal and texture as well. So right back on the rack. Second batch here. All right, these look really great. Sriracha is a complex hot sauce. It has really great flavor to it. So if you haven't given it a try, please do try it out. There's so many wonderful recipes that you can use it in as well. So 450-degree oven, and these are gonna go in just for 2 to 3 minutes more until the sauces start to kind of bubble and caramelize. And then these will be ready to plate up, and however you wanna serve them, whether it's celery sticks, carrot sticks, if you wanna garnish them at all, or if you don't, no big deal, but these are going back into the oven to get nice and brown. All right, the wings are out of the oven and we're ready to serve them up. So, you know what, I'm gonna serve them together. People can kind of pick and choose what they wanna, what they wanna try. Now, obviously wings are best served right out of the oven, so make sure you get this right to the table. And again, this is just a method for you guys to try at home. You can certainly customize this to your taste, whatever you like, whatever flavor profiles appeal to you, give it a try. I think the technique here is just in roasting these chicken wings at a high temperature with the rack, so you get a really crisp outer coating to your chicken wing, which is so similar to what happens when you fry them in oil. So there you go, guys. Baked chicken wings, something you've been asking for. Now, if you have any other kitchen conundrums, we always love to hear from you, so let us know. Reach out using the hashtag Kitchen Conundrums, leave us a comment, and one day maybe we'll make a video for you.